Hi, I'm John Kiefer.
And I'm Colton Pack.
And I'm Joffe Pleasant, and we're here with your weekly Weber State News.
Coming up on Weber State News, we go inside Weber State's football second-round playoff win as they continue the best season in school history.
A decision is about to be made. Who do students want to take over as university president?
With Christmas coming, how are Weber State students trying to get into the giving mood?
Weber State hosted their second playoff game in school history this past Saturday. I was there along with these guys. I was freezing my butt off, but how was the experience for you?
Man, it was exciting, right? But it was cold. But this was the first time these teams have ever met, but It felt like a long-term rivalry with all the late hits and the fierce and the tempers that flew. I mean, you were at the end. You kind of passed by the tunnel where the fight was.
Yeah, it was nuts. As I was leaving the game in the tunnel, the Weber State players confronted the Red Hawk players about playing after the whistle, which led to some of those fights that were happening during the game.
For sure. It was a great game, though. The Wildcats ended up with a season high in points as they got the win, 48-23.
Last Saturday, your Wildcats hosted the Southeast Missouri State Red Hawks in the second round of the FCS playoffs. The Red Hawks came to play as the game was tied at the end of the first quarter.
They came in excited. That's a dang good football team. They won a lot of games this year. They're stout. They do a good job stopping the run. They're well coached. They play hard.
The Cats got red hot in the second quarter, scoring 27 points before halftime. 2 of the 4 touchdowns were set up by interceptions from the WSU defense.
There was some adversity in that game that I thought we handled well, and I thought that really the key to that game was how we finished the second half on just that high note.
Weber State sealed the win with 2 late touchdowns. One was a pick six by cornerback Jordan Prater. The other came from a fake field goal from the 11-yard line. I'm Colton Pack with Weber State News.
The Wildcats move on to the third round of the FCS playoffs and will host Maine next Friday, December 7th at Stewart Stadium at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. The game will also be aired on ESPN2. Another historic season of Wildcat football has taken place this year, and big senior offensive lineman Iosuo Opeta has been an unheralded star. John Kiefer met up with Opeta to discuss his time here at Weber State and his future in the NFL.
As Weber State football looks to embark on a championship run, Iosuo Opeta, offensive lineman, looks to stake his claim as a future NFL prospect in the 2019 draft.
He's been the constant for us for the last 3 years, is him on the quarterback's blind side. I do believe he's as good a prospect at his position at this level, at the FCS level, as there is in the country.
Sua actually started as a defensive lineman at Weber State, and in his junior year made the switch over to the offensive line.
We were going to go and try and find a junior college tackle, and we were sitting in a recruiting meeting, and I said to Coach Hill, I said, you know, the best offensive tackle prospect that we can find is on our own team.
At first it was a little bit overwhelming just because they expect me to start right away, and I stepped up to it. I was all for it, you know. I was never scared. It was just something different. But switching over, I knew it was the right position for me, and I actually picked it up pretty fast too.
Sua will continue to work hard and expand his game, but he does believe that he has what it takes to contribute now to an NFL franchise.
Just my work ethic. I think that's gotten me to where I am today, and then keeping that same work ethic will get me, because I don't think I've even touched my potential yet, and I know I can be a great contributor to whatever they want me to do.
Opeta also said that his primary focus is on winning a championship here at Weber State, but after the season is over, he is going to shift his focus to signing an agent and possibly transitioning positions and becoming a tackle at the next level. From Weber State News, I'm John Kiefer.
The offensive line is definitely an underrated position in football, and we hope to see Opeta playing on Sundays at the next level. After seeing him play for the last 3 years, I think he's on the right path. Just hours after the football team got the victory against Southeast Missouri State in the FCS playoffs, the Wildcat men's basketball team took on rival BYU, who had won the past 15 meetings between these two teams. And I had the privilege of being on scene for this well-awaited battle.
The break, the shooting slot. Hard net, blocked. Chapman comes in to swat it away.
With well over 9,000 fans in attendance at the Purple Palace, the Wildcats protected their home court in a 113-103 victory over the Cougars. Junior guard Jarek Harding led the Wildcats in scoring with 30 points, shooting just under 65% from the field. Cody John also had a very nice night with 22 points, and the big man Zach Braxton added another double-double to the stat sheet. Before addressing the win, head coach Randy Ray made sure to pay his regards elsewhere and thanked the fans for their support.
What a great day today. Football team, congratulations to them. Terrific win. And what about our fans? I mean, all day long, the football game. And they didn't have a lot of break to come from there to here. And, you know, I'm sure there's a few hungry people out there because they skipped dinner to get over here and support us. And I thought it was tremendous.
Knicks had nowhere to go. Turnover. Turning. That's all Kozak. It's all Kozak.
The Cougars were able to stay in this one to the end thanks to a game-high 31 points from center Yoli Childs. Point guard Josiah Hardnett also had an efficient night with 24 points on 11 of 15 shooting. However, the Wildcats, who scored 66 points in the second half, had 6 players scoring double figures. Even when BYU got close, the crowd's excitement never ceased, and the veteran leadership of the Wildcats never allowed the Cougars to gain any momentum.
We had about 10,000 people in here, and we don't win the game without that crowd yelling, screaming, and urging our guys on. And we've got outstanding fans, and that was a special day for Weber State athletics and the city of Ogden.
The Wildcats head to sunny California to play Fresno State Wednesday before the much-anticipated Beehive Classic in Salt Lake City. Weber State plays Utah State at 2:30 p.m. on December 8th. The atmosphere at this game was insane. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in Salt Lake. Reporting for the Weber State News, I'm Jaffe Pleasant.
From this Wildcat crowd at the Purple Palace, Weber State with a 10-point win, 113-103.
Whether you're a former athlete looking for some competition or a newbie to the sport itself, ready to team up and have some fun, Weber State University offers a variety of different intramural sports, including flag football, soccer, kickball, and volleyball. With specific guidelines to follow, the participation between these sports are intermixed with an equal amount of men and women. Depending on which sport is featured at the time will determine the number of females and males needed for each team. As most teams are put together right before deadline, some teams stay committed and focus from sport to sport. Weber State students Tanner Stevens explains that some teams play on rec leagues or from season to season together. While each team designates a team captain, the players have no coach throughout each sport.
Encourage them to be leaders, to make teams, to come out and to have a good time. So even though there are competitive aspects to the sport, for the most part, it's just a lot of fun. Just to come out, step aside from school, put academics aside, and to blow off some steam and have a good time. So
both Stevens and Tatton encourage students to get involved. Interested in the next sport coming up? You can stay informed by following Weber State on Snapchat at Weber State EU and on Instagram at WeberRec. Who's going to replace Chuck White? We have Hillary Riley with the latest.
The search is over. The 4 candidates for Weber State presidency have been announced, and students spoke out about who they want their next leader to be. Weber State has been looking for a new president since Chuck White stepped down in January. Norm Tarbox has filled in as interim president, and the list of candidates was announced on November 3rd. Brad Mortensen, Catherine Frank, Frank Lamas, and Melody Rose are the nominees WSU students have had mixed reactions to, as they would like to see happen in the decision.
My vote would go to Catherine Frank because she's run for academics and she seems like a nice lady.
So I think Mortensen will be the best for this job because his familiarity with the college, with being here for as long as he has, and with everything he's done for the school, I think he'll be able to adapt quickly to being president.
So I think I would vote for Brad Mortensen. I really don't know many of the candidates, but I know he's been at Weber State. I've heard his voice, his name around. So I feel like he knows the university and could come and have a really positive influence.
Stay tuned, as the Board of Regents is expected to make their decision as to who will take over the presidency on December 6th. As classes inch toward the end of the year, students are working on to prepare for and handle finals week. Harrison Epstein has the story.
The 2018 fall semester is coming to a close, but while most students are holed up studying, others are doing their best to help their classmates.
We had the therapy dogs come out, and we decided to coincide with them and kind of offer some, like, I guess you could say, therapy food. Chocolate, like biscuits and hot chocolate, and we called it doggos and cocoa.
Even as the weather worsened, students were left between studying at home and finding their favorite study spot on campus.
A little bit of both. I like to do it on campus. I like to go to the library just because at home we'll go get a snack and I'll walk around and maybe turn on Friends. So I like to go to the library so that I can put my earphones in and just get down to business.
Whenever I got free time, I'm sitting at home trying to study, making a lot of flashcards.
Students who want to can still reserve a study room in the library by going to the Weber State Library website. All of the testing centers will be available for finals week, including ones in the Shepherd Union, Stewart Library, and Tracy Hall. No matter which testing center you call home for the next week, just make sure to study hard and hope for the best. And remember, Wildcats, winter break is right around the corner. I'm Harrison Epstein for Weber State News.
At least there's still a few more days to study before finals start.
Local Ogden musicians and students gathered together to showcase their newfound and lifelong established talent for music at the annual end-of-semester Singer-Songwriter Festival.
Students and seasoned songwriters have one thing in common when it comes to music at Weber State, and its name is William Paulette.
Give this young man a round of applause, if you will.
Paulette teaches the English 2750 class, Intro to Songwriting, which gives students the opportunity to explore and understand music even if the students don't directly identify as musicians.
Yes, If you're interested in music whatsoever, then you've got a spark there, and I want to encourage the students to fan that spark and turn it into a flame.
When the semester nears its end, Paulette lets the students showcase their work in front of peers, family, and the local Ogden community. Alongside them are Ogden musicians and friends of Paulette who get to hear the students and present their work as well.
I was so impressed. The diversity, oh my goodness. And for me, it was a treat to hear all these different styles of music and voices, different really beautiful talent that we heard tonight.
Well, it looks like the English department has much more to offer than meets the eye. Make sure to keep these courses in mind when you register for spring semester. Reporting for Weber State News, I'm Jenny Guzman.
Paulette's class is offered Tuesdays and Thursdays during the spring 2019 semester and can be found under the English department's registration page.
Climate change has been a popular discussion topic, especially after the information we've received after Thanksgiving.
On Black Friday, the 4th National Climate Report was released, with information gathered by over 1,000 different people and 300 leading scientists.
The results of the report state that the temperature is rising at an accelerated pace due to humans' day-to-day activities. Some of Weber State students are consciously doing their part to make a difference.
What are you personally doing to help the environment?
Well, I try to take public transportation as much as possible rather than like driving my car anywhere. Well, not anywhere. Of course, I drive my car some places. I drove it today, but yeah, I think that's really important. And conserving water and not not taking too long of showers and not using your hose to randomly spray your driveway for absolutely no reason. That bugs me. And making sure your sprinkler systems are doing what they're supposed to. And turning off lights. I think that's a big one.
That is. Although some of the things Anne listed may seem easy and small, in the long run they can make a very large impact for everyone.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas around campus. Several Christmas trees have been seen in the Shepherd Union, but one tree is different from the rest. The angel tree gives students, faculty, and staff the opportunity to give back to their community. The Center of Community Engaged Learning puts together the event in conjunction with the Salvation Army.
We hope students understand that holidays are an important time to think about others.
Each card on the tree contains a name, a gift, and suggestions that are in need for Christmas students that can simply take a card, fulfill wish, and to return the card and gift the Center of Community Engaged Learning. Now these cards go fast, so if you are interested in participating, check the tree in the Shepherd Union before they are all claimed. Well, it's officially the holiday season, and the lights of Christmas Village in Ogden are already attracting many. Every winter, the city of Ogden partners with local businesses, organizations like Weber State to feature lit-up exhibits and foster family fun near Town Hall.
Well, I actually wanted to go to Weber State, so this actually stood out to me the most, the Where's Waldo exhibit, I guess. I just thought it was really cool and neat.
Yeah.
Most of the exhibits are cottages modeled after Santa's village in the North Pole. Spectators will also be able to enjoy hot chocolate and snacks while getting a chance to meet Santa Claus as well. The lights are on at Christmas Village from 5 p.m. to midnight every night, and admission is free.
The WSU Honors Program holds multiple events every year to celebrate students' accomplishments. One such event, the Nye Honors Banquet, was held on November 27th. For more on the Nye Banquet and the Honors Program itself, we go to Weber State News correspondent Cameron Gifford.
Opening remarks for the event were provided by Dr. Dan Bedford, and the dinner was provided by WSU's own Sodexo. Graduates from 21 departments received regalia to be worn during convocation in the form of stoles for university honors, cords for general honors, and medallions for departmental honors. Megan Moulding, the honors program coordinator, wants students to know the honors program isn't exclusively for those with perfect GPAs. Honors is for everyone.
Honors is for students who are curious and want to better themselves.
Moulding said the Honors Banquet is all about the students, but none of it would be possible without the generous donations of the Nye family.
We want to make sure that they are honored at the Honors Banquet because they make it possible.
Students who may not perform well in one area of academics may likely still find a home in honors. The important thing is to foster a love of curiosity and learning.
We are focused on students thinking critically and having discussion and having dialogue in classes, having more hands-on, having field trips. So I would say the most important thing of honors is really our courses and our professors who are kind of the cream of the crop here at Weber.
Moulding wants students to know that they needn't wait to be told they're worthy of honors. They should seek it out.
People think honors is something that you're invited to, when really the important thing about honors is that you're making the decision to join honors. It's on you.
As graduation approaches, it's a great time for students to look back and celebrate everything they've accomplished. For everyone still diligently pursuing that goal at Weber State, it might be worth thinking about a visit to the Honors Department.
Yeah, honors is something for everyone.
For Weber State News, I'm Cameron Gifford.
Our students and teachers really are the cream of the crop here at Weber State, aren't they?
Yes, they are, John. Salt and Honey is a local shop that was created by brother and sister John Smith, co-founder and president, and Ashley Collette, co-founder and creative director, who had their dreams come true this October when they opened a permanent shop for themselves, local artists, and the community. They have made their way through the pop-up shop culture for the last couple of years when they started in 2015.
Creatives, we both like to create things. We both paint and are constantly doing things that are creative, and we have strong connections to the creative community. Here, pull together products from around the community, local creatives, artists, and makers. And they bring together an amazing assortment of products, everything from vintage products to apparel, original art. We've got a lot of home decor and even some handmade treats.
Smith and Collette welcome many vendors to open their shop and give them the freedom of creating their own space and setting up their table with their own creativeness. Also, to keep up with the trends, vending opportunities, and the products people make, you can check out their Instagram at Salt and Honey Market. There you have it. Stay tuned Thursday night for the presidential announcement.
We'd also encourage every student to get out Friday night for the Weber State College football game as they take on Maine at 6 o'clock.
Until next time, I'm Hillary with Weber State News. Go Wildcats!